Learn from somebody that's good at cooking, how to cook in your tank. That's what's propelling you forward. So somehow. So again, associate with those that have that gift. And they may do it differently than you may do it, but the inspiration comes from persons that are, that how did it happen for the rest of us? When, the beginning of the Hare Krishna movement. I can say personally, I was by nature a shy person. Look at what I'm doing. But, book distribution helped me get over just being a shy person because it's something that Prabhupada wanted, and so I just did it anyways.
At least in my case, can go for hours and maybe distribute 3-4 books for Lakshmi. I mean, I'm not giving away, but having people pay Lakshmi, and it's like a whole. Again, my approach may not be right, but it takes a long time to convince somebody.
Find out from persons that are gifted. That's my recommendation. And if you don't know, find out from somebody that does know, then and invite that somebody to come and spend some time with y'all. Engage in some book distribution efforts and go together and do stuff. It's doable, definitely doable. There's audiences, I'm sure you'll find. So you're finding it. I'm happy to hear that you're trying like this. Not happy to hear that 3 or 4 books after several hours, but that you're trying anyways. That's nice. And Krishna will reciprocate. And one of the ways for Krishna to reciprocate is somebody that's gifted. Consider, as a community, somebody that's good at this, let that somebody that's good come and spend some time, figure out a way with all of you to mobilize and increase book distribution. It's doable. It's lovely. You can know from within your heart that it's pleasing to our predecessor acharyas. No question about it.
And what about harinams?
What about it? Put them together. I'm not making strategies for you guys. Harinam has its place. Just go in Harinam. And when you go in Harinam, people will come around. And when people come around, you invite them to take a book. I mean, I'm happy that you're asking these questions because some people don't. But so I know some devotees that just go in Harinam themselves, or with 2 or 3 people. But sometimes it's just go out and Harinam themselves, knowing that it has its spiritual benefit for people who hear the holy name. But if you have whatever the strategy is locally, on Saturdays between this time and that time, you go somewhere in a park or somewhere, and you have Harinam and you distribute books. I mean, I'm not going to make the plan for you guys, but you make a plan. But that you have an interest in that, fantastic.
Thank you, Maharaj.
And thank you for that interest.
Krishna Maharaj,
Yeah.
I have 2 questions. First of all, I would like to say words of appreciation for Prabhupada, saying with this imagery he has given, as you say, the entire Srimad, most of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and you have spent hours putting together these pictures, and it's beautiful, concisely putting this together. So thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for doing this. So one of my questions is about the rainbow being unstringed, or that word.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yes. So I was thinking, what's it's saying it's materially detached because there's not a bow with a string. Is that what is it representing?
It's poetry. And the poetic image is, where's there a bow that's bent without a string? No such thing.
Garuda, being a pure devotee of the Lord, eating these edibles, which are again considered non-vegetarian.
Yeah,
So how do you?
because he's not you. He's not a human. He's Garuda. Fish and serpents. That's not for us.
Thank you much.
That's his species of life. You have something.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for the lecture. I have a similar question on what Prabhuji is asking. So where is that pastimes happening, like Garuda killing the fishes, and certainly it's not happening in the material world? Or
And suddenly, say it slower. Suddenly what?
it's not happening in the material world, or it's happening in the spiritual world?
No, it's this world.
It's this world.
Garuda was cursed, and he doesn't have to accept a curse, but he curse was from Shobhari Muni that he can't come back. And if he does come back, then the curse will fall on his head. So he didn't come back. And that was the place where Kaliya was told to go, because Garuda won't come. But Shobhari was the one that cursed him, and Shobhari had a little reaction from that cursing, or that the offense to Garuda. Okay?
I have a second question.
Sure.
So in one of your slides, where it says advanced devotees take everything as Krishna's blessing, right?
There's several verses said that one, yeah.
So I'm just trying to relate. Someone was walking on the water. How is it related to the?
It's just, when you see something extraordinary,
My question is in the context, adversities in the
the things he was agitated, besides the coughing, one of the things he was agitated by is I leaned over to pick up my bag that was on the floor. And when I leaned over to pick up my bag that was on the floor of my seat, my elbow was rubbing his space. And he barked at me. He scolded me. It's very irritating. Can you please check yourself? Harsh. And took his magazine or his book and held it in front of him like. So I was thinking, I probably do that and I don't even know that I'm doing that. Thank this man for correcting me. I mean, the way that he did it wasn't nice, but it's still with me. So now you're hearing that, you may say, gosh, that was not nice. Right? So when you see devotees going through something that's difficult, we don't feel, oh, great, Krishna's being very kind to them. But we can understand that. Like tomorrow, I'm going to see my sister, one of my sisters, and she is undergoing chemotherapy. And, chemotherapy is not fun. Having cancer is not fun, and the chemotherapy is not fun. And there's no guarantee on the other side what's going to happen either. So it's not, pain before death is not, that's a misfortune. But so how can I bring some fortune into her life in the midst of that misfortune? She's attached to me. And she knows who I'm attached to. And that's going to be beneficial for her. So my answer to your question is it depends. We don't think lightly that when someone is passing through misfortune, but we try to see a way in which we can bring light into that misfortune.
Hare Krishna Guru.
And if a further point is, it's just the nature of this material world. The nature of the material world is, it's a place of duality, and it's not a nice place to hang out. It's impetus for us to take more seriously you know, the ultimate purpose. And here's a little sharing. About 3 weeks ago or some time ago, I was in upstate New. So back again, a little boy, maybe 7, 8. You know how to help a young person